It's finally nearly almost over, my friend. The rather noticeable drought of video games seems to be coming to an end, and the deluge of new titles on the horizon is enough to drown players in sheer choice. So let's take a look forward to these rising suns of brilliance. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 7 highly anticipated video games finally releasing in 2021. Number 7. No More Heroes 3. December 2019 was made all the more stranger when No More Heroes unveiled itself to the world. Being the trilogy capper of a much beloved series was enough to get a lot of eyes on the project, but it was its ludicrous trailer that seemed to be more of a Ghibli film for about 80% of the runtime that got people chattering with excitement. It was clear that the team was pushing every boundary possible when it came to enemy design, setting, and overall presentation. And if this was to be the finale in the series, then it was going out with a bloody big bang. However, where's the earth-shattering boom? Because all that followed was the game going completely silent for a full year before we heard that No More Heroes 3 was being delayed until 2021. Now, while this was a big blow to fans, they were soon rallied by this new release date. As if the team is capable of anything, it is delivering over-the-top action spectacle the likes of which you won't find anywhere else. And more time in the oven is sure to produce a delightfully delicious experience. Number 6. Dead Island 2. Yes, that's right, Dead Island 2 is still scheduled to be released in 2021, which still comes as a shock to us, seeing as not only has there been next to no promotion for the title, but also because of just how long the title has been in stasis. I personally remember playing a demo of Dead Island 2 at EGX in 2015, and walking away from the experience feeling confident that the sequel would hit the same silly highs as the original, only for the game to then slip into the grave and out of the public eye for many years after. Yet in 2020, the franchise proved to be itself amongst the living dead as it clawed its way back into the limelight, stating, "I'm not done yet," and receiving a massive push from Deep Silver, who claimed that the wait would be more than worth it. Acting as a hot potato between studios, Dead Island 2 finally found a home with Dam Buster Studios and is set to land later this year, complete with all the sun and screams that such a combo is sure to be stuffed with. Number 5. Back 4 Blood. Left 4 Dead and its almighty sequel are some of the best-loved video games on the entire planet, thanks to their instantly engaging gameplay, clever use of the ever-shifting AI director, and of course, the lovable cast that spews out memorable one-liners even while being bashed into the ground by a bloody charger. Yet despite receiving a ton of support from the devs initially, it was down to the community to keep this game alive with mods and custom levels, leading to fans crying out for a 3rd installment, something which was teased over and over, but never came to fruition. And then, it happened. A group of devs from the original team splintered off from Valve and announced that they were making a spiritual sequel called Back 4 Blood. It wasn't just the naming conventions that were similar here, as the endless hordes of infected, colourful cast members and of course the return of that AI director have skyrocketed interest, as Back 4 Blood is essentially the 3rd installment of the hit zombie shooter. Plus, the deck building aspect of the game could actually be its secret strength, allowing players to give one-time buffs to themselves and party members in the next round, boosting replayability and indeed difference of each session through the bloody roof. Number 4. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Now I know what you might be saying, wait a second, didn't this only just get announced in February? How can this be highly anticipated if we didn't know it was even arriving? Well, my friend, this may well be true, but that doesn't change the fact that pretty much every Final Fantasy fan looked at the unveiling of Ever Crisis and then said, "This is the Final Fantasy VII remake we actually wanted." In a matter of frames, Square Enix had blasted their own recent remake, which admittedly is more of a reboot than anything, out of the water with this mobile title, which looks to retell the entire original game, but with brilliantly animated sprites and in an episodic format. Now, fans have been clamoring for literally this exact experience since that PS3 trailer way back when that never came to be. That's not to say that the upcoming game will be perfect, as sadly the ever-present mention of microtransactions is alarming to say the least, but you can't deny that this hasn't immediately become one of the most anticipated titles set to drop in 2021. Number 3. The House of the Dead Remake. In what is an utter tragedy considering that Nintendo has been basically building technology perfectly designed for the genre, on-rail shooters have been in pretty sharp decline over the years in terms of quantity and indeed quality. However, with titles like House of the Dead Overkill, players got to experience the arcade joy of splattering heads with a friend using their Wii remotes as guns, leading many to cry out for more bullet-based mayhem to satiate their need. Largely ignored, it wasn't actually until 2019 that the genre got a much-needed resurrection when it was announced that Forever Entertainment had signed a deal with Sega to remake both House of the Dead 1 and 2. This was huge news for fans of the series, and now that we have a firm release window of this year for the first remake, it's time to limber up and stretch that trigger finger. Number 2. Psychonauts 2. To say that this Psychonauts sequel is something that is highly anticipated in the gaming industry is like saying that the Titanic was a bit of a large dinghy. A rather huge understatement. We've been waiting for this game since 2018 when it was first announced by Double Fine, and I personally have descended into milkman levels of obsession, supping on every single drop of information I can possibly wring out of the stone-clad studios and their contacts. However, the wait is nearly over, as the 2021 release date, while still not totally nailed down to a specific day, has been confirmed as very soon indeed. Strangely, this makes the final waiting period even more intense, as with each piece of gameplay and story revealed, our hopes begin to rise to dangerous levels. With the comical chops of the original writers, voice actors reprising their roles, and what will sure to be a huge glob of Double Fine hilarity, Psychonauts 2 stands to be a game that burrows deep into our hearts and minds come the close of this year. And number 1, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I know it might seem a bit odd to end this list looking at what might be essentially a video game franchise built around cheap jump scares, but you cannot deny the impact that Five Nights at Freddy's made when it hit the industry back in 2014. You couldn't look anywhere online without seeing YouTube content creators and Twitch streamers screaming their heads off, and then obviously checking the camera to make sure the audience really knew that they were like scared for real, guys. And this was only matched with the rabid outcry for more jump scare shenanigans. While many other series would have seen a dip in interest after the initial gimmick wore thin, Scott Cawthon and his team brilliantly began to interweave a rich and rather deep mystery across the games, spawning countless theory videos trying to piece together what the hell was going on. And with the next game, Security Breach, looking to expand on the gameplay elements as much as the narrative, this could well be the game for fans who have been waiting since 2019 for a new installment. And possibly, it might well be the best game in the series. Easily something to get excited about. And there we go, my friends. Those were 7 highly anticipated video games finally releasing in 2021. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice. That's Dice with a C, where I do all of my streaming outside of work, and it'd be great to see you over there, my friends. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. I hope that you're treating yourself well, both mentally and indeed physically, because you deserve love and respect, my friend, like all humans on this planet. And I want you to get the best things in life, and do not let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise, alright? You're a massive ledge, now go out there and absolutely smash it. As always, I've been Jules, you have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.